Hi and welcome to this short demo to see how to use Poe as a build mechanism for Databricks Asset Bundles. Of course, you can use Poe for other things, but here in this short video, we are going to focus on DABs. So I generated the Databricks Asset Bundles template before, and I have just here this simple job to deploy that will use some dist, some wheel that is present in the dist directory. But the tricky part is that to make this work, we can imagine that we need to download an external file from the workspace, and you cannot do this simply with your build command. At least I would like to insist on simply, because there is probably some kind of tricky way to do that. But thankfully, if you use Poe, you can chain your tasks and have this build and download steps together as a single execution step. So let's take a look at the bundle. And in the bundle, I have here Poe build instead of UV build, for example. And the difference is that this build task, which is declared in this file, will first create the wheel, of course, before it will remove everything which is in the package directory. So it will first build the wheel, and next it will download my required file for this build, which is this simple downloaded file .txt from the workspace. Of course, here I will be using the Databricks CLI, but you can use anything you want here. You can also use a Python script. You can use a more advanced shell script. So it's up to you, and it's fully supported by Poe. But before, let's see what we can do with Poe. So when you call help, you can clearly see what are the tasks available. And as you will remember from the blog post, which is linked just in the description of this video, the internal tasks are not public, so they are not displayed here. Anyway, let's see now the deployment process. So this directory is empty, and now I'm going to deploy my bundle. And to deploy deployment process, as you saw before, we'll call this build task, and the build task will create the wheel and download the file from my workspace. So let's do this. And what we have here is the dist directory with my text file and of course the wheel. And as you can see in the bundle definition, we don't have anything complex. It's just a build command that is later declared according to the Poe API, and it's pretty awesome because each API standardizes things, including Poe. So whenever you switch projects, switch companies, organizations, they should follow more or less the same principles if they all use Poe. Otherwise, if everyone starts to invent their own solutions, it will be much more challenging for you as a consultant, as a data engineer, to follow and to appropriate a new project. So it's also great for not only from the build simplification standpoint, but also for the standardization and onboarding experience. And if you want to discover more on Poe, so other features that are available, there is of course the documentation, but also the blog post that I linked for you in the description of this video. It was Bartosz Konieczny from waitingforcode.com. Thanks for watching.